Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. Okay, so these are mods for November the 12th. Today's the 13th. These are yesterday's mods, but for obvious reasons with the Alpine Farming DLC dropping, I was a little bit busy. But we're set up, we're ready to go. We have 3 updates. The updates are as follows. From left to right, the Roadrunner Plus by Mantrid has had an absolute load of updates. Check out the changelog on that. The TMR Mixer by ER Shaba, Toy Mateo, VSR Modding Sur, and the SIP Disc 260 by BGamer003 have all had updates today. Okay, so directly in front of me I have got the Lizard T270. This is by Voksel and Puszkap. It's 4 slots on console, 4.16 megabytes to download. It is a bale spike. You will find this under Tools, under Baling Technology. Options available on this. We can change the main colour to orange, blue, green, or back to its original red. But it has a bit of a trick up its sleeve. The one thing I have found with this, so in the help menu, it doesn't work particularly well with square bales. The trick up its sleeve, and weirdly as well, it seems to work better with the bales on their side, the round bales, rather than on the ends rather than their sides. I can automatically raise and lower it, L1 and circle, like so, but L1 and right stick I've got the option to manipulate myself if I want to. So, put it into the bale, lift it up, it says, and away we go, which is all very lovely. But when we get to where we're going, if I press L1 and square to X to unfold tool, it pushes the bale off the spikes for you. And it finishes that last bit off on its own, like so. What I found was, doing it on a square bale, the square bale gets stuck. It doesn't want to leave the end of the bale spike. So as far as I can tell, it's primarily designed for use on round bales. But that's a pretty cool little device, that. I like that. There you go. That's the Lizard T270 by Voksel and Puszkap. Moving on. We have got this. This is the T6110-130 by Agro Tonho. This is in the kind of long line, or we're getting quite a lot of Brazilian mods of late. We had a lot of Polish maps, now we're getting a lot of Brazilian mods. This is the first of 2 Brazilian style tractors we've got today. This is by, did I say Agro Tonho? 27 slots, 8.85 megabytes to download. It's a nice tidy tractor. We've got a few options on this. We have it with open cab or with a cab. It's got a reverse warning as well on this one too. This one you will find under small tractors. There we go. 92 grand for the base model. We can change the rim colour from white to black. We can change the main colour, which changes the grills at the front. The grills at the moment are black to white. Configuration, we've got standard or with a front weight. Those are the only 2 options. There's no 3-point link or anything like that. Design, we can have standard or with a cab, if you want to have a cab, which has got some nice lights on the front of that too. We'll go with the cabin one, or as that as an option. We've got wheel setup, standard, wheel weights, wides and weights, rear twins, and back to standard again. We can have clear windows or tinted, which obviously if you don't have the cab, the tinted window option is irrelevant. Engine setup, the T6110 at 110 horsepower, T6130 at 130 horsepower, those are the 2 options. Then exhaust, we have standard or direct exhaust. Fenders, with front fenders or without. And then front loader attacher, yes or no. Like so. Those are the options. Let's hop in. Lights, horn. I say reverse warning. Like so. In cab. I say in cab. If you had the cab, obviously it would be. Nice detailing. Apologies if I'm racing through these. We've got a lot of mods to get through. This is going to be a very long mod review. And there are some absolute corkers, so stick with it, please. So there we go. That's the first of our tractors today. That's the New Holland T6110 130 by Agro Tonho. Next up, fairly similar, but not exactly the same. This is the New Holland TL75 Brazil. This is by Centro Sul. Now, in comparison, megabyte download 17.28 megabytes, 29 slots. This is a slightly older version New Holland, but again, there's more flotation tyres on the back. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there's many options on this one, if I recall. This should also find under vehicles and small tractors. There we go, the New Holland TL75. 81,000 for the base model. Configuration, standard, 500 kilogram weight or back again, so weight or not on the front. I think with this one, it might have been the same on the other one actually. If you go for the front weight, you lose the front loader option. So the front loader attacher doesn't become an option if you have the front weight. Wheel brand, we've got Lizard or Michelin. Under Lizard, we've got standard, wide tyres and weights. That's the same size tyre. Just adds weights. Wide tyres and back again. Did that even change the width of the tyres? Just changed the tread. Okay. And then front loader attacher, yes or no. If you want to have a front loader on it, those are your options. Now, no lights on the top of the cab. We do have lights there. No reversing beep on that one. Oh man, that's strange on that one. I've never come, not strange, but I haven't really come across that much on many tractors that I recall. Horn, lights off. In cab, we sit a lot further back actually in this one. So there we go. That's the New Holland TL75 Brazil by Centro Sul. Moving on, we have got this. This is the Silage bucket. This is by Beunheas. Sorry if I said that wrong. 4 slots, 2.45 megabyte download. It does say in the mods hub that this is a leveler, but it wasn't under levelers. I actually found this under wheel loader tools in the end. But under wheel loader tools you can then change the configuration for telehandler, front loader, skid steer loader, which you'll see in a minute. It is technically designed for levelling bunker silos, but you can just use it as a regular bucket if you want to. So as I said, under tools, under wheel loaders, I'm sure that's where I found it. There we go. And under here it says universal shovel, 4,000 litres. It will do your silage crop type things. It will do manure as well. And then options available on this. We can have without tines or with tines. And then you've got the option for wheel loader attacher, telehandler, front loader or skid steer loader. Those are your options. And it works just like any other bucket once you've hooked up. As you can imagine. Like so. Very nice indeed. So that's the silage bucket / universal shovel bucket by Beunheas. Yeah, that's it for that one. So, moving on. So, the first of... Well, not the first of. They're all brilliant mods, you know what I mean? But, this little beauty. I've got to find it on my list. I've got so much stuff on my list. It's absolutely crazy today. This is the ArtMechanic Pop 6X. This is by Vanquish081 VSR Modding Sur. 3.81 megabyte download, which is amazing, and 8 slots. Now this is a poplar harvesting header. The standard in-game one is about 2 meters wide. I think it's 2 of those, and then you get the edge. This is 6 meters wide. That's going to make doing poplars so much less of a chore, and it can be a bit of a chore because it can go on and on and on. I'm just trying to think, have we had a modded one of these before? Not that I recall on console. There have been a few times I've been on holiday and I haven't done mod reviews because I've been away, so I may have missed one, but I don't think so. This you'll find under Tools, under Forage Harvester Headers. So the standard one is the 130 FB, that's the one we sort of generally use, which is 2 meters wide, and it has 2 of those cutters. Here, the Pop 6X, 42,500. So bearing in mind it's 3 times the size of the other one, it's not 3 times the price, which is pretty good. Did I say it will use 8 slots? Yeah, 8 slots. Options available. We can change the main colour. Let's go out a little bit. So, main colour. So anything on that palette. So you can actually match up to the chrome yellows, the chrome green. We've got Rosselmash white and red. We've obviously got the class colours down the bottom. There's the John Deere colours. I went with class because I was using a class harvester. But if you wanted to go for the John Deere green, you absolutely can. Rim colour, you can put it on John Deere yellow if you want. You know, go for however you want to go for it. And then design colour changes the rest of the machine. So all the bits that are black at the moment. Why is that not going back up? Oh, it's one of those menus, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, so the design, you can then change the rest of it to mix and match with whatever you want. Then we've got brands. You can have no brand at all. You can have the ArtMechanic logo. You can have class, John Deere, which kind of matches up rather nicely with that. Krona, Rosselmash, or off. So I like the fact there's a few options on this. So what I'm going to do, I hope it's going to work. I've set myself up with the trailer. I've got myself a class forage harvester. That is crazy. 3 rows at a time. What I'm going to do is hire a worker, because the other thing as well, when you get something like this, I'm often curious, will it work well or properly with a worker, and it does seem to be. Honestly, that is going to make doing poplars so much easier. Look how quickly that's honking through those. See? Brilliant mods. There we go. Very nice indeed. Like it. Right, I need to grab a tractor. Bear with me just a second. The tractor I've just grabbed is complete overkill for what I'm using it for, but it doesn't matter, it's absolutely fine. We have got next the Irmo Mistral 300. This is by STv-Modding team VertexDezign. It's 17.96 megabytes to download, 13 slots on console. It is a cultivator, 3 meters wide. The detail, I mean, honestly, the level of detail. I know we kind of get into that habit of, you know, a cultivator's a cultivator, a disc harrow does the same job, so does a power harrow. You get the same end result. But I think the thing as well is, because next to us we've got another one there, which is also 3 meters. They both, in the end, at the end of the day, do the same job. But when you look at look at it. The bolt heads, everything on there. The level of detail on that is incredible. We do have quite a few options on the back as well for the basket, the roller section on the back. I went for a kind of mildly aggressive one, but I say mildly aggressive, you certainly wouldn't want to be rolled over by that. So this you'll find under, I'm going to go with, it's probably disc arrows, isn't it? No, I was right, there we go. Under cultivators, the Irmo Mistral 300, 9,850 to buy, requires 150 horsepower to pull, 3 meters wide, will run at 10 miles per hour. Options available, can't change the colour, but on the back we have got a cage roller, we can have an angle ring roller, we've got a double shell roller, packer roller, rubber roller, cross kill roller, slatted roller, and back to the cage roller. So I've got a few options, you know, to choose a specific one should you choose. and as you might hope, it cultivates at 3 metres. The 12th of November was a great day for the 3 metre cultivator enthusiasts. We had quite a few as part of the Alpine Farming DLC, or a couple anyway. A couple here today, brilliant, isn't it? So there we go. Does exactly as it should. Now if you've got a smaller tractor, you may well require a weight on the front because that does hang out quite a long way off the back, but you may not, it's entirely up to you. Moving on, we've got the next of the cultivators today, which is this one. Just here, again, got to find it on my list. This is the Lizard Aus or Os, I don't know if it's from Australia, possibly. 2.5, oh it's not a 3, I'm so sorry. It's a 2.5 metre. 2.5 metre. This is by Pan, Bartosz, Help and Hajstel. Unless it's... I wonder if that's a typo. Whether it's Pan, Bartosz and the Help was Hajstel. I don't know. Anyway, that's what it says. 4 slots on console, 4.3 megabytes to download. It's a fairly standard, straightforward, boxy construction. Tines underneath. But it does have on the back here a link so you can run this and have a 2.5 or 3 metre seeder behind it as well. So you can attach something on the back of it. I kind of like that as an option, that's pretty cool. This is also under cultivators. There we go, the Aus 2.5. 60 horsepower required, 2.5 metres. This will run at 9 miles per hour, so a little bit slower by a whole mile per hour. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette, like so. And again, so if you're not feeling a beefy 3 metre cultivator and you want to just step it down a little bit to a 2.5, this may be what you're looking for. There you go. Does the job. And like I say, the ability to be able to hook a seeder on behind that as well, very nice indeed. So, there we go. That's the Lizard Aus 2.5 by Pan, Bartosz, Help and Hajstel. Moving on. Next to the brilliant mods. Now, I said way back when the class pack came out, and then I went to Agrotechnica and saw the saddle tracks at Agrotechnica, and I did say when this came out, having the ball attachment there, I was really hoping at some time soon, and the class pack's been out a while now, that we would start getting more of these trailers that are designed to hook onto these. Well, we finally have. This is the Kaweco Swan neck Tandem. This is by STv-Modding. Slight little one on this. It's 18.35 megabytes to download. It's a slurry tanker which you can add various different attachments onto the back of. So it's a slurry spreader. 30,000 litre capacity. It's 38 slots. I think, pretty sure it's compatible with on PC the manure system and stuff. I can't say for definite. I think it might be. But anyway, regardless of that, we finally got one. So if we've got one, we can get other stuff. I'm sure we can get other stuff. Now this, I think, also hooks up to other variations of the Xerion, which I'll be honest, I didn't try because I had this one already, but it does give you some options. We might have to just give that a quick test in a minute. It's a really nicely made mod. So this one you'll find under slurry tanks. So there you go, right at the very end. 86,500, 30,000 litre capacity, requires 250 horsepower to pull. We'll run at 10 miles per hour. Now it does say 30 metres. Now in standard configuration, without anything on the back, I don't think it's... Oh, it might have a spreader on there. Does that spray out the back naturally without anything on it? Ah, maybe I'll try that before I hook up. So maybe it's got a 30 metre spread anyway. So you don't necessarily need an attachment. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette, so we can go for, I mean, like I say, anything on that palette means exactly that. Rim colour we can change as well. So we can change our rim colour. Design colour changes the other portion, like so, so we can really mix and match this. Then we've got the option of Trelleborg, Michelin, knock-ins. The knock-ins are narrow with no other option. Trelleborgs, we've got standards and we've got wides. Big old flotation tyres. Michelin, standards and wides, and then attacher type Oh, this around the front, isn't it? Attacher type was here. So we've got standard, we've got Xerion 3800 attacher, Xerion 5000 attacher, and back to standard. Oh, I think I went with standard, or did I go with I might have gone with the 5000 actually. So what I'll do, let me just grab, go with the standard. I've got the 3000 series. Will it work on that one? Oh no, it may be specific because that one did say 3800. Bear with me a second. Well, as you can see, this particular modded version, it hooks up to absolutely perfectly. I'm now also thinking, I've got my, again, 6 Ashes Let's Play, I've got one of these tractors. So, using this one as the example for the first bit, I think, actually what I need to do is fill it up. Now, we do also have the option on this, if you want to go for the more realistic thing, like I say, that's why I was wondering whether it was like the manure system ready for lagoons and things like that. But we can move the pipe, so we can go up and down, like so. Then we can go side to side, like so. This is all L1 and right stick. Then R1 and right stick. We then got the extension, and we got that. So you can go for that kind of more realistic if you want to fill up from a slurry point or a lagoon or something like that. You can go for a more realistic fill, should you choose. Like so. So what I want to do then is test then. Does this spread? It does. So that will go out to, is that 30 metres? I don't think that's 30, is it? Well, it will spread without an attachment on the back anyway, which is pretty cool. So you can get it in standard configuration and you won't have an issue. But we can also do, and there are loads of attachments and loads of modded attachments. There's stuff in the Holmer pack and there's the Horsch pack and all sorts of stuff. There's also all the Samson ones and various different things. I think I went for the Horsch one, because it goes out to 36 metres. Hooks up really well, pipes attach on as well. I just love the look of it. I think that looks brilliant. Something very elegant about it. I think it's the curves, the sweep at the front, that matches the curve of the tyres. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. And away we go. Very cool indeed. Tank is not empty. Or was that the other one? There we go. That's awesome. That's the Kaweco Swan Neck Tandem by STv-Modding. Apologies if I spent a little bit too long on that, but I really like it. Next, right. Next we've got this. Now this kind of, I say, comes in conjunction with, not necessarily. We've got this. This is the semi-trailer Dolly. This is by Karl Farms. This again, absolutely brilliant. So it's 11 slots, which seems quite high, 1.89 megabyte download. There's a few options on this, not least of all, it's a lockable dolly. I believe it says in the mod tab that it's the first on FS entirely, I think. I'm pretty sure it said it was the first on Farming Simulator. A few options, like I say, so we'll have a look at the options first. If we go back to tools, we go to dollies. It's this one on the end, semi-trailer dolly, 5,000 to buy, 11 slots, which seems fairly high. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette, so let's say we'll go with red. Rim colour, we've got the option of stainless steel, we've got a zinc, there's chromed, silver, and then we go through the rest of the colour palette options, like so. Design colour, we'll put that on yellow so we see it. Now, nothing seems to change at the moment, but when we go to, well, it'll be on wheel covers, but mud flap decals, we can have standard or none. So if you don't want the lizard logo, you can take the lizard logo off. Mud flaps, we can have mud flaps or wheel covers. That's when the design colour comes into play, because the design colour is what your mud flaps will be. Wheel cover front, wheel cover rear, wheel covers completely over, front cover a mud flap or not at all. So it depends what option we'll go for. We've then got an A-frame drawbar or a straight drawbar, either one. Obviously the straight drawbar is a bit longer than the A-frame. And then wheel setup, standard, double axle, back again. And then rear lights, we've got standard or no lights. So you can take the lights off if you don't want them. Again, that's entirely up to you. So, how doth it work? Well, we are going to go into these trailers straight after this. Well, not straight after this, we'll do one of the first. So this will hook up to a trailer the same as any other dolly does, the way it's supposed to. So we'll hook up, and then when you drive, it swivels and does all the things it's supposed to, which is great. If you want to lock it out though, you need to disconnect from the trailer. So we disconnect, and then it says unfold trailer. So L1 and X, and if you notice, there's now a light come on there. If I do it again, fold trailer, the light's gone off. So that's in the unlocked position. That is locked. So if I now go under that, that is now locked onto the front of that lorry. So that's now not moving. So if you get to a point where you want to reverse that into a space and you don't want all that wobbling around and it going all over the place, it's one of those things I find fairly difficult. It gets better with practice, obviously, but you can lock this out. Now I know there's been a few trailers where I think you can lock the front axle, but for a dolly to be able to do that, I think that's brilliant. So disconnect, unlock it again, back on, and you treat it like any other dolly. Very cool. It's a nice bit of kit, that. So that's the lizard, that's the semi-trailer dolly. It's because I was looking at the, thinking about the mud cards. Oh, it's lizard. It said on the thing, didn't it? Excuse me. Semi-trailer dolly by Karl Farms. I'm going to be right in the way there, aren't I? Let's move out of the way completely. Oh, you know what I'm going to do before I completely forget? We'll go into the trailers in just a second. We've got this. This is the stake. So if you have any problems with vampires on your farm, this is by OviiixC and Sphinx. Now I put VIIX into a Roman numeral thing, and that's not a valid one, is it? I was trying to think, because you've got a smaller one. Anyway, it didn't work out properly. But anyway, that's what it says. OviiixC and Sphinx. One slot, 0.08 megabyte download, and you can use it to mark out errors or do whatever. But what dawned on me, I thought, I wonder, and it was only, again, 6 ashes I mentioned. There was a couple of trees I wanted to cut down specifically, and we don't have the spray can like the marker thing they do on PC. I wonder if you could use that to mark a tree. And how close to the tree could you get? The answer, pretty close. So I thought straight away, if you're going to be doing some forestry stuff, and you want to mark the trees that you want cut down, that works pretty well. I like that. Now when you've done them all, sell them all. You know, you can't pick out the ground and move it or anything like that. It's a placeable. But, you know, because straight away I thought, a lot of people will argue, what's the point of it? You know, what are you going to use it for? You might be able to use it to marking out, you know, whatever you want to do, I don't know. But I thought that was a kind of fairly straightforward thing that could be used for. So anyway, this you'll find under placeables, under decoration. There we go, the stake. 50 to buy, and like I say, one slot for each of them, and then placing them, and they, like I say, you can get pretty close to most things. You know, it's pretty handy. Depends obviously what the base is going to be on them, but I just think for that kind of thing, very handy indeed. I like that. There we go. So that's the Steak by OviiixC and Sphinx. Right, onto the trailers. I'm getting there. We have got this first. This is the D375. This is by Karl 911. 9.76 megabyte download, 5 slots. There are a few options available on this. This is an old, I'm sure it said 1960s style trailer. I'm sure it said 1960s. Yeah, for the transportation of liquids. But what's really cool is that on the back. I like that, and you'll see why in just a second. Well, you might see you in just a second. Nicely detailed. Actually, that will fit quite nicely with the dual lorry that we got recently. Very cool. This you'll find under Tools. I think it was under Animals. There we go. The D375, 24 grand, 18,000 litre capacity. We can change the rim colour to anything on that palette, like so. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette, like so. And then the design colour changes all the rest of it, the chassis and the box sections around it. So, if, for example, just to highlight, the various different sections. Then we got the option of language of signs: English, German, I assume that's Russian, and back again. The sign can say universal, without signs, milk, water delivery, fertilizer, herbicide, slurry digestate, back to universal. Now, when you change that sign, it doesn't change what it will hold. It will hold anything regardless, but you might specifically want one like I did that just says water delivery, but it will still give you the option for taking anything. But if I go back to that again, we can have it obviously in German and Russian. I like that. And then functional, standard, or quantity display, and that's on the back. If we go standard, there's nothing on the back. If we go quantity display, obviously that's in Russian now at the moment, but it tells you on that chalkboard on the back how much is left in it. Which, again, that's a pretty cool feature. I like that a lot. So, I was just thinking, actually, the cows that I've got may need some water. I just wanted to show the sign going down. What's it at the moment? 9992. So, 8,597 litres. There you go. 8.597 metres cubed. So it matches up with what you've got in it. I like it, that's brilliant. And I say it will take all those things, so it will do milk, it will do liquid fertiliser, it will do herbicide, it will do slurry, and it will do digestate. Okay. Moving on. Well, so that's by Karl 911. Another Karl now, we've got the Lizard EP End Dump Pack by Karl Farms, same person who gave us the Dolly just now. This is 29.62 megabytes to download. Slot counts on these, interestingly, for the smaller of the three in this pack, the EP22 is 28 slots. The EP40 is 28 slots. The EP48 is 22, which surprised me. Now, as you can see, wheel options, I mean, it's absolutely bonkers, but wow. And we've got this one in log configuration, so you can put logs in it and strap them down with an open back. That one I've got with cover. That one I've got with extension boards. Now, each of these trailers can do that, so they can either be in log configuration with a cover or with an extension board. Whichever you'd rather go for. Nicely detailed. We'll do kind of all three at the same time. Maximum capacity, this one, 105,000 litres. This is the one a lot of people have been waiting for. I told you today was going to be brilliant mods. We've already had some crackers. Yeah, 105,000 litres, and these can be daisy chained as well, because you do have the option for trailer hitches on the back. Hook a dolly on, stick another one behind it, and away you go. Imagine two of those. 210,000 litres in one trip. That's just absolutely doesn't bear thinking about. But anyway, you'll find these under tools, under trailers. Now the options on these are identical apart from the wheel options, because the wheel options, as you can see, there are going to be different multiples of wheels you can choose. They will take pretty much everything. The EP22 end dump is a 40,000 litre capacity standard. We can change the rim colour to anything on there. We have stainless steel, zinc, chrome, silver, and then we go down all different options. Pretty much like the Dolly was. Main colour, this is where things, we've got aluminium. We've got aluminium grey, aluminium dark grey, aluminium black. Then we're on to pewter, and then pewter grey, and then dark grey, and then pewter black. And then we're on to stainless steel, and then it goes stainless steel, and we go through those options, gunmetal, and then we're on to more standard paint options, but there are a whole load of, you know, various different ones to choose from. Design colour, that's for the cover. So I'll put it on yellow for the time being so it will stand out. Then we've got cover configuration. So we've got standard size, 40,000 litre capacity. Cover, which is yellow. Then we can go for extension boards, which takes it to 45,000 litres. So this one is a 40,000 or a 45,000 litre capacity. And then we can go for log trailer, which takes off the back. It will add straps in there, so you can use that for just putting logs in. So it just makes it an open-sided or an open-ended container, like so. I think that's it for. Then we're back to standard again. Yes. Then we've got wheel brand. Now wheel brand, we've got 315/80 R22.5s, and then we can have 315/11 R24s. Bit more of a low profile tyre on the second option. Wheel setup, now this is where things get a little bit more interesting. Standard, 2 axle, 3 axle, 3 axle 1 lift, 3 axle 1 lift, back to standard. Design, standard or extra lights, so it puts extra lights down the side, running lights on top and bottom. Then we've got mud flap decals on or off. Now remember, a lot of these options are the same on all three. Then attachers, we've got standard, and you've got a rear hitch, so if you want a daisy chain you absolutely can. And then rear signs, you can have standard, road train oversize, or back again. Now if you have the log option, obviously if you put that on road train oversize, there's no back door on the log option, so you won't have that on there. So those are the options on that. Now again, the options on this are identical. What I will change though is the, what was I going to change that is going to be different? Cover options are the same. Oh yeah, it was to go with cover or extension. So on this one we've got standard 70,000 litres, which is, I mean, for the medium sized one that's amazing anyway. If you go for the extension it's 80,000, so that's already 1,000 litres over the biggest one we've got on console already, and that's the medium size, so that's 80,000 litres. And then it's axles is the other thing that will change on this. So we can have 2 axle with a space, 3 axle 1 lift, 4 axle 1 lift, 4 axle 1 lift with a space, 4 axle with 2 lifted, 5 axle 2 lifted, 5 axle 3 lifted, 6 axle 3 lifted, 6 axle 4 lifted, and back to 2 axle again. So quite a few options on the axles. And then we move on to the biggie, the EP48 end dump. Again, options are all exactly the same. This starts at 95,000 litres, so already a bit of a beastie. Cover configurations, again, we'll go that way I think this time. Imagine having that as a log trailer. If you have it with the extensions, that's what gives you the 105,000 litre capacity. And then we get onto our axles. So, strap in. 2 axle with space, 3 axle 1 lift, 4 axle 1 lift, 4 axle 1 lift with a space, 4 axle 2 lift, 5 axle 2 lift, 5 axle 3 lift, 6 axle 3 lift, 6 axle 4 lift, 8 axle 4 lift, 8 axle 5 lift, back to 2 axle. It's a big jump from the 6 axle up to 8, it's just bang. Yeah, look at that. It's like a caterpillar. It's absolutely crazy. So, what does that actually mean? Well, as I already said, the smaller one I've got as a log configuration, and we can take the straps on or off. So put the logs in and strap it all down. Very nice. When we tip, it's a fairly slow tip. Now you imagine the long one, that's going to be a very, very, very high tip. Now to get that extra wheel down, it says unfold tipper. Give it a bit of time because it takes a little while. So unfold tipper L1 and X. Your extra axle comes down, or however many axles you've gone for. So let's back that up. I think all of these I went for extra lights, so we've got extra running lights down the side. Let's back that out of the space there. So, cover on and off. I love the fact that with the cover on you've got tension straps down the side to hold the cover this side as well. Lights, when we put them on, all those running lights down the side. Very cool. So, cover open and closed. Unload. Same thing. Fairly slow on the lift and it will go all the way up to unload, but I suppose more realistic than some of the ones. Mudguards attached to the bottom of the bed so it goes up with it, and then the same thing, L1 and X puts the extra axle down. Like so. Very cool. Huh? It won't let me disconnect with that axle down, the other one did. Oh no, that's weird. Maybe just need to move it. And then we got the biggie. 105,000 litres. I say tip's the same. I've got this one already with, with all the axles down. Look at that. Right. So what I'll do with this one is I'll lift the axles out the way, the ones that I've gone with. So fold tipper. This does one set of axles at a time. That's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh, I think, yeah, 4 up, 4 down I went for. So there you go, 105,000 litres of barley in that. Absolutely bonkers, but brilliant. I mean, I absolutely love it. So there we go. Got there. So that's the Lizard EP End Dump Pack by Karl Farms. I know that 105,000 litre one's been very eagerly anticipated. So, moving on. We've got this. I'm going to miss something, I am. This is the milk tank. This is by Tailan Agro Mods. 1.03 megabyte download. 1 slot to download as well, or to collect. 10,000 litre milk tank. So if you want to store your milk separately, you absolutely can. Nicely detailed. Holds 10,000 litres. This is under placeables, under silos. There we go. 20,000 to buy. 10,000 litre capacity. Holds milk. That was a fairly quick one. That wasn't too bad at all, was it? Moving on. We've got the Cows Barn. This is by MefiuFs. Right, so this is 12.53 megabytes download, 26 slots. It's an interesting one. It holds 40, which is fine. You've got this here. Now I'm assuming this is what helps remove the muck, because the manure pile is here. It seems to be right at the very end of the... I'm not too sure. It doesn't have a function, certainly not on console. But we do have our slurry point. It's just here. Close gate. If you want to, obviously, if you don't want the animals getting away. Couple of things to point out. One, there's no mess. I've had these over 24 hours now because I wanted to see where the manure would come out and that kind of thing. I've got no mess. If I go into my menu, go across to my livestock, my cows, water, straws in there. That's this straw pellets, but I put regular straw in. Productivity at 99%, but there's nothing on there that says for clearing up mess. So non-messy cows. Quite handy. But here's one thing you do need to know. That entranceway is very, very low. Just bear that in mind. And also when you tip, if it's a tipper, an actual tipper rather than a push unload, it hits the roof within seconds. So unless you're going to bring in your feed and stuff by hand in buckets or something, it's a little bit of a tricky prospect. You certainly can't do it with larger trailers. You can't get in here with larger trailers. The biggest I managed to get in here of the standard trailers was the Farm Tech, because even the next Agro liner up, the 21,000 litre one, was too high. The peak was too high to fit under. Now there are loads of modded trailers out there, so you're going to find something that will work. But it was a bit tricky getting stuff in. Anyway, water is at this end. Straw was at that end. Feed was pretty much here. There are lights down there as well. I believe there's a hayloft, but I don't know. Oh, there you go. You can open it, but you're going to need a ladder or something to get up to it. But there is a hayloft above there too. We do have a gate just here, which moves the barbed wire out of the way. And this is your animal dialogue box for buying, selling, loading or unloading. Then I assume this is the slurry point, because it's the only thing left. Not yeah, because it's oh, is this milk? Is it slurry that end and milk this end? I'm not too sure. It's one or the other. That's the one thing I didn't check. Sorry, I do apologise. It has been a bit hectic to say the least. So yeah, 40 cows, no mess. Not bad, but I say the only downside is the trailer situation. So it's going to be a very small vehicle barn. But I suppose with 40 cows, well, it's still a fair amount to feed and keep, you know, in straw and whatnot if you went for the full 40. Anyway, regardless of that, you find this under placeables, animal pens. There you go, cows barn, 50,000 to buy, 40 slots. 40 animals, 26 slots for the first one. There you go. Which brings me on to, looking down my list, the last of the mods. And this is phenomenal. Again, brilliant mods, not kidding. This is the Cotton Pack Brazil by Connect Modding. 19.16 megabytes, which blows my mind. I don't know how they've done that. This is, in essence, the John Deere Cotton DLC as a mod, kind of. So what do we get? We get the John Deere 9996 harvester. We get the Lizard base, or bass, which I think is that one. We'll check that in a second. We've got the Lizard baler EB11, which I think is that one. And then we got the Transmodulo trailer for the bales. So we're running at 21 slots for the harvester, which I think is phenomenal. 5 slots each for those two. And 9 slots for the trailer, which is absolutely bonkers. But I think it adds a whole nother level of immersion into the cotton harvesting process. I think it's brilliant. I honestly cannot go over the slot count and the megabyte download for this. The detail on the harvester is incredible. And what it does as well, this is a John Deere, remember? John Deere, 21 slots. Have you ever heard the like before? It's absolutely bonkers. But, wow. So, the harvester itself, you'll find under... where are we? Cotton Technology. And this is the other great thing. The standard Module Express K635 is 485 grand, does everything. The CP690, the John Deere pack, 847,000, does everything. The 9996 is 250 grand. 250. You get 3 of those for the price of that. And have change. And only 21 slots. No options available. You get what you get. So then you think, oh, okay, that's fair enough, but you've got all the hassle of having to do all the jobs yourself, and how expensive is the rest of the stuff? Well, if we go to Cotton Technology, yeah, so the base, however you want to go it, that's the trailer for collection, if you want to go down that route. 4,000 litre capacity, 6,800 to buy, 5 slots. The baler EB11, 6,000 to buy, 5 slots, holds 11,000 litres, so the bales will be 11,000 litres, and that's only 5 grand. So your whole package is so cheap. And I honestly, I think very, very fun. I had a bit of a play around with it because I needed to get to a point where I was almost ready to do a bale. Options available on this one, and this one there are none. I think on this one, oh no, I thought you could change colour on that one. No, so there's no options on them. You get what you get. But they're pretty cool, and what they do is amazing. So what we'll do, we'll jump in this, start up. Now you have to open it up, unfold the harvester. But we're at 2,745 litres. This will hold 4,000, as will the trailer for it. And I love this, the animation, the augers in there, so it's all blowing to the back, the augers are pushing it all into the right place. This will hit 4,000 litres and it will need to be unloaded. I'm at a position where my compactor only needs one more load, so I wanted to be at a position where it would all kind of work fairly quickly. But you gotta love it. Connect modding. Wow, I doff my cap in your direction. I told you, didn't I, today? Brilliant mods. There's some absolute corkers today. Now, you can unload from this on the go. So like any other machine that you unload from on the move, you can drive alongside this with the collecting trailer and the side will automatically open and it will unload. That will do that no problem at all. I've already tested that, it does work. Now I'm the wrong side over and I'm going to be full before I get to the end, but that's not a problem at all. So it will collect on the fly. I've got a worker hide at the moment, I'm not doing anything, the worker's doing it. Bear with me. So these will unload like for like. So it's opening up. Now you can open up yourself by doing pipe out, but as it's now full, it's opened automatically. Look at that animation. That is absolutely brilliant. So like I say, it will do it automatically when it's full, or if you drive alongside it will do this, or you can do it manually if you want to. So what we'll do is we'll get alongside our trailer. We'll unload our 4,000 litres in. Now what I'm going to do is put the pipe in, because you don't have to unload into the trailer. Well, I'll say that, I haven't tried this yet. So this is the first time we're trying this. So like I say, manually, pipe out. I'm hoping we can unload directly into here if we want to. Yeah, should be able to. So if you don't want to do it into the trailer, you want to do it directly into the actual compactor, the baler, you can do it directly from here. So pipe in. Honestly, I'm blown away by this. I mean, this is a DLC in its own. I've said this so many times before in mod reviews. Anything that's new, anything that brings a new process or an added something to the game, and this absolutely does. Pipe out. You can see the bale growing inside. That now should be enough in there for a full bale. Now this is the bit I haven't done yet, because I only just about had enough harvested to do one full bale. So what we'll do is connect up. Why is that going to say unload the baler? I haven't compacted anything yet. Oh, that's interesting. It didn't do the compacting. Oh, that's a pity. I was going to show that. Maybe I should have it turned on the whole time, and as you were putting stuff in it did it. So as we drive out from here, it leaves the bale behind. Ah, right, okay. Well, maybe I've got enough left in that. Right, let's close the back. I don't understand. It's not giving the option. Right, unfold baler. There we go. So it wouldn't let me do it because I had stuff in it already. Turn on baler. And it does that. So when you've got all of your cotton in there, it goes along and does that to simulate the compacting of it as it goes. It's because I think because I saved the game, came out and went back again. But anyway, so as you've seen, you put it all in, You should do that before. It compacts it, you unload it, drive away, and you've got your bale. That's 11,000 litres. And then hopefully this should work. Come on, work. There we go. Panic mode. Now this trailer will only take one bale. One square bale, and off you go to your sell point. I don't actually if my edge one will do it. So there we go. I mean, Cotton Pack Brazil by Connect Modding. Add that to all the other top-notch mods we've had today. What a day! And bearing in mind this is being recorded and released the day after the mods came out. We do have a situation now where there's probably going to be more mods again later on. Hopefully not a Friday frenzy. I don't know if I can cope with that. It's probably not going to take this now, is it? Just to teach me a lesson. Go on. Yes. There we go. And that's it. I think that's it for the mods for the 12th of November. If you're still here, if you're stuck with it, thank you. Thank you for sticking with it. I hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.